there's one Printify setting that people are either just not using or not leveraging in the correct way to help them get more sales. So in today's video, we're gonna cover what this is, how to create one for yourself, and how to actually leverage it so it's helping your store more than it's costing you. And this is using package inserts. And if you're already using them, I still recommend watching to the end of this video to make sure you include all of these things on your package inserts to make sure they're actually helping your store. So first of all, what even are package inserts? Package inserts are a little slip that a lot of suppliers within Printify, not all of them, so you'll have to double check. I'll show you how to check that in a second, but it's a little slip that comes with your package and it can be used as a thank you, but you can custom design these to include any element you want. And again, we're gonna cover what should be actually included in your insert. But quickly first, before we get into that, when you are selecting your supplier, if you take a look at the tags here, you wanna make sure you see branded inserts. So Duplium has them, Print Logistic does not, Monster Digital does. We have a few, again, that don't, but a lot of the big ones are going to have this, including SwiftPod, which is my main supplier. The easiest way to start creating this is with a template. So what I'm gonna do is go to my design platform and I'm using Kittl, and then I'm going to look through templates and I'm gonna type in thank you, and I'm going to see what options and templates they have. And I'm going to find one that I think I can edit to match my branding, because you do wanna make sure that these inserts match your brand so that in people's mind, they're connecting it to your store. So say my brand looks like this. I'm going to select this one here, but there are tons in here that you can edit and you can change all of the colors. But right away, this one just looks really cool. So the first thing that I want to do is resize this to make sure it's the same size as Printify. So you can change your sizing here. This can also change the sizing. So if you see, this one's by pixels if you do standard, but I selected business card, so it's 2 inch by 3. We're not gonna stick with that. The Printify one is actually 6 inches by 4. I was just doing this to set the measurement. And now we have the same sizing. I'm going to drag my cursor over everything and I'm going to make it larger so that it fits. And now we can start designing from here. The first thing that I include is a thank you and a message to let them know that if they have any issues with their product, to reach out to you either via email or via Etsy messages. And what this does is it actually lets people know that they can send you a message before they leave you a bad review. It's really hard to get someone to change their review, but if they know that they can reach out to you first, they're more likely to do that instead of just leaving you a 1 star and then they never respond to your messages, you never hear back from them. So this is going to save you from a lot of bad reviews. The next important thing that I'm doing is reaching out and asking for a review. A lot of people do not remember to leave you reviews, but it helps your Etsy store so much. You can ask them through messages later on, but this is just asking them up front in a way that's not very invasive. And I also like to sign off with my name, again, to remind people that they're shopping from a small business. I'm not a large corporation. I am a single person, which makes them kind of sympathize with me more likely to leave a review. It's also why I also like to make sure my photos are filled out with photos of me on my Etsy store as well. Again, people shopping on Etsy are looking to shop small business. The next thing I like to do is offer a high discount code and mention that it's for their next order, or they can gift it to a friend. You can custom make this coupon on Etsy and not use the automated ones so that they could also gift it to a friend. So if they don't plan to buy again, but maybe they know a friend who might like a similar shirt, they can give this to them, giving you an extra sale. One thing I love about these cards is, for me, when I get discount codes like this that I think I'm gonna use again, I hang them on my fridge. I have magnets, I put all of my discount codes that maybe one day I'll use again, which is going to remind them that you exist consistently. An email is just going to be sent to them once, but having that code up there is a living reminder on top of just having your t-shirt as well. But again, they also might give it to somebody, which is going to help out your store. I also like to include a call out to tag us on Instagram. A lot of people don't know you have social media, but you'd be surprised by how many people are wanting to actually tag you on Instagram. Instagram. I didn't have an IG for a long time and I had so many people in messages asking me who they could tag and I didn't have an answer for them. But once I actually created one, what I realized was people would tag me all the time. A lot of times I didn't even realize, and then I was getting sales from their friends, word of mouth. So now I like to actually advertise and ask people to tag us if they're going to be posting. And so I include my Insta here. I just made up this brand name, guys. This is not my store. I don't know. It's the first thing that came to my mind. And then do not forget as well to include your logo somewhere. You need to be able to have a way for them to find you again. And if they totally forgot what your Etsy store name was, that's not going to be helpful. And then there are QR codes as well. You don't need a QR code. Sometimes they look pretty cool and you might want to include it. It can either be a link back to your store, or what I've seen a lot of people do as well is include it as a link to their social. Just make sure it's clear. So under this one, I might put an arrow that says tag us on Insta so they know where that QR code's going to bring them. And you can grab these from different sites, like this one here called QR Code Creator. If you just Google a QR Code Creator, you're gonna find this or other ones, and you can include your link here, so to your Instagram, to your Etsy shop, and then you're able to go down and download this, and then you can bring it into your design/thank you card file. Coming back to Kittl, I'm going to start saving my file. I'm going to go to download, and I'm gonna make sure, again, this is set to 6x4. I also like to set my DPI to 300, so we're getting the highest quality. And then I am going to download, and we're gonna move back into Printify. Now, bring it into Printify, and I did have to kind of rejig it a little bit, just because I actually wanna make sure that all of the important information that cannot be cut off is within the dotted line here. So I just moved some things up because I was reaching a little bit out, but now, if it even slightly off prints, all of my important information is going to be there. Another thing I highly recommend you do is proofread, unlike I did where I spelled appreciate wrong. Don't do this quickly. Make sure you're double checking and making this professional, unlike me who made this in 2 minutes. And again, just to reiterate, make sure that this is matching your Etsy branding. You're using the same colors, the same fonts, the same logo, so that people can connect visually your card to your Etsy brand. Having a cohesive brand is very important. So these are gonna cost you 15 USD cents extra on top of your Printify orders, but it really is worth it when you factor in getting more sales, more word of mouth, more social media tags, more reviews. In the end, it's going to help your store more than 15 cents. Thank you guys. Let me know if there was anything you were missing from your card, something you recommend I add to my card, or if you weren't using these before and you plan to implement them, let me know. And thank you guys so much for listening. I'll see you next week.